Good morning, CABE familia. Good morning, buenos días. Josan, Nehoma. Welcome to day 3 of CABE 2017. It is going fast, isn't it? Friday, it's already Friday. We have really reached the el corazón of the conference. We know our way around without getting lost. We have figured out when the shortest line is Starbucks is, right? We are familiar with the workshop's descriptions and offerings in the program and wish that we could have the chance to go visit everything and not be forced to choose. Our hearts and minds are full of new information, inspiring experiences, and exciting ideas to put it into place at our schools' classrooms on Monday morning. There's just so much offered at CABE 2017. We are looking forward to another day of rich and engaging experiences and lots of stories. As I have walked through the halls of CABE 2017, I have heard stories being formed that will stay with and motivate us way beyond the end of the conference. Stories that will sustain and encourage us. Here's to a powerful day of learning, connections, building relationships. So everybody have a great day at CABE 2017.
Please join me in welcoming CABE Board President Karling Aguilera-Fort, who has a special message for us.
Buenos días, CABE. I know you stayed late night last night. Buenos días, CABE. Good morning, CABE. What a pleasure, what an honor to welcome you once again. As we have repeated for the last 3 days, this is our 42nd conference. For 42 years, we have been welcoming teachers, students, parents to our CABE conference. For 42 years, CABE has been the beacon of professional development for many of us. For 42 years, we had written stories. We have written stories for new teachers, for the veteranos, for the ones who are just getting ready to walk into the classroom. For 42 years, we have worked with families. We created Parent Center because we realized at some point that without the families, without the voice and the participation of parents, we wouldn't be able to do the work for our children. For 42 years, CABE has been the organization that has responded to the challenges and to those who somehow told us that our cultures, our languages, our identities at times are not the ones that count. CABE has been the organization that has invited partners and at times engage even the non-believers. We are here because we are believers, but you know that the real work is with the ones that don't believe. And that is why we are here, and that's why CABE matters. As you can see, this year's theme, connecting communities through our languages, cultures, and stories, is intentional. We have lost perspective of the power of the stories. And intentionally, we wanted to tell you, each one of you have a story to tell. But when we go back to the classroom and we want to use the power of storytelling, we want to use it with high intellectual levels. We want to use the storytelling as an engagement piece that will help us to write, to read, to solve problems, to create new stories, and hopefully to develop the new authors, the new researchers, and the ones who will take over after us. CABE continues building stories for the last 42 years and the 42 to come. Today, thank you. Today, I'm proud to tell you that our budget has become even stronger. I'm proud to tell you that we have a strategic plan called the Compass, La Brújula, that has guided us for the last 5 years. I'm proud to tell you that from the Compass, we went to the GPS, and now we are getting more acute with the directions where we are going. And I am proud to tell you that the next 10 years, we don't know what we will call because GPS will be obsolete. And CABE is ready to follow that. CABE has professional development services. CABE has partnership with families. CABE has invited new partners, international partnerships. That means that CABE is still vibrant, alive, and better yet, the organization that will still grow. And this year we have 5,200 participants. And last year in San Francisco, we have 4,600. And we challenge, and here we are. We responded to the challenge. Next year, we know we will have 6,000 people at CABE 2018 in Sacramento. So we want to say thank you, welcome, get inspired, use the story, connect the communities, and continue this work on behalf of our English learners, on behalf of every learner, on behalf of every child that we have in our classroom, and most importantly, to those that we have as a system marginalized. So please join us, do the work, get inspired, but get into the classroom. Those administrators, you need to go into the classroom. You need to support your teachers. You also need to make sure that the kids are receiving what they deserve. Thank you, welcome once again, and we'll see you next year in Sacramento. Gracias.
And now it's time for 3 special greetings from CABE 2017 honorary chairs, starting with Superintendent of the Garden Grove Unified School District, Gabriela Mafi.
Good morning. On behalf of the Garden Grove Unified School District Board of Education, staff, students, and parents, it's my great pleasure to express our gratitude for the partnerships we enjoy with CABE that allow us to interconnect our communities through languages, cultures, and stories. As exemplified by our wonderful Mariachi de Rancho Los Alamitos that you just heard before me, the Garden Grove story is one of diversity of rich languages and dynamic cultures. 48 beautiful languages with over 50% Spanish, as well as Vietnamese, Arabic, and Korean, to name a few. Our 44,000 students in 67 schools encompassing 7 cities represent multi-ethnic communities that come together in mutual respect. Varied in nation of origin, language, and cultural traditions, all are welcomed and valued as members of the Garden Grove family. Our students' rich and diverse language and cultural traditions are true assets, and their tremendous learning outcomes are testimonies to the benefits of biculturalism, bilingualism, and biliteracy. Since launching the Seal of Biliteracy 4 years ago, over 2,000 Garden Grove graduates have earned this distinction at graduation, with a staggering 618 last year alone, thanks to our robust world and heritage language offerings. This year, we launched our first ever Spanish dual language program, Monroe Language Academy, with great results. And next year, we'll be launching a Vietnamese heritage program as well. In addition to developing biliteracy, we work to enhance cultural proficiency through culturally responsive coursework, including Mexican American and Vietnamese American studies, as well as our student-led advocacy groups, such as Latinos Unidos. Not surprisingly, our Garden Grove Unified School Districts beat the county and state in high school graduation and A through G completion rates, and the county, state, nation, and world in advanced placement passage rates. These and other incredible student achievements are not in spite of, but rather because of the beautiful, rich, linguistic, and cultural gifts our students bring to us every day. On behalf of our students from nations around the world, I thank you for your deep commitment to all students and their vital role as future leaders of this nation. Thank you.
Let's welcome CABE Honorary Co-Chair and Superintendent of the Los Angeles County Office of Education, Debra Duardo.
Buenos días. Bienvenidos. Really is an honor to be here, and I thank CABE for being such a wonderful partner. I am really proud and happy to be a part of the CABE familia and share with you the strong commitment that we have for supporting bilingual education. And of course, all of our English language learners. I'm also glad that we have so many people here from LA County, from 80 school districts that are here to learn and grow and to continue working to support our English language learners. You know, I just want to say on a personal note, growing up with parents that didn't speak English, what that was like. And I remember as a child going to school and being very embarrassed because my parents didn't speak English or because my parents spoke English with a very thick accent. And you know, it really is, as you get older and as you begin to find yourself, when you finally get to understand how empowering it is and what an asset it is to be able to speak two languages. So I have to give a shout out to my parents and to my community for helping me to stay strong and to believe and not be afraid or embarrassed or ashamed of being where I come from. So thank you for our parents that are here today and our students and all of our administrators. Thank you, that are working hard to make sure that we continue to have to be proud and to learn and keep our languages going. I go out and I visit lots of sites, and I have the opportunity to see when things are working well. And I've visited some of the best language immersion programs, and it is absolutely amazing to see these little children. I was at a school yesterday where I saw kindergarteners and first and second graders speaking Spanish so fluently. So I want to again continue to congratulate you, continue the good work, and say that we at Lake are very proud to be a part of this effort to promote bilingual education and to promote equity for all students. Thank you.
And lastly, from Saddleback Valley, USD, Superintendent Peggy Lynch.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here this morning to greet you representing Saddleback Valley Unified School District. I am the interim superintendent. I have 1 week left. Not that I'm counting, but I only have 1 week. I am a former superintendent for 14 years in Orange County and San Diego County. Sadly, I am not bilingual, and I wouldn't even attempt to say anything because I would embarrass myself. But I am committed to CABE's vision of biliteracy, educational equity, and 21st century success for all. I feel like our world seems to grow smaller all the time in terms of being able to connect worldwide, around the globe, and the ability to communicate in more than one language will be a gift to all of our students. Given what I view as challenging times for public education, your dedication to the students in the state is more important than ever. I want to thank the families and staff who are here from Saddleback Valley, Olivia Yaya, who's one of my staff members and on the board here. Thank her for all her hard work and for the dedication. I wish you all the best as you enjoy this time together to learn, to grow, and share your passion for the great work you do and for the students you serve. Thank you very much and have a great rest of the conference.
And now, what we've all been waiting for. Please join us in welcoming educator, poet, and author, Donovan Livingston.
Buenos dias, good morning. Before I make this announcement, I just want to say, let's give another round of applause for that beautiful poem. When he was speaking, it reminded me of what our keynote speaker said yesterday. That's the third power, the infinite power. And I just so now, how do we embrace that? How do we change the story? How do we continue this work? We made history in November with the passage of Proposition 58. And we want to thank everyone in this room who spoke out, your family, your friends, your colleagues, everyone who contributed to the campaign, people who made phone calls. California changed from an English-only policy for our students to encouraging every student to learn multiple languages. But our work has just begun, and we each need to once again have our voices heard. Across California, we are hearing about schools and districts that are planning to begin or expand new dual language programs. That's exciting. But there's a significant shortage of bilingual teachers. And CABE and Californians together are gearing up to solve that problem. As Karling said, we need to create new stories. So in your bag, you have a yellow postcard. And we're asking each of you to sign that card and place it in a box at the door when you leave this session this morning. This will show your support for AB 952. Sorry. It's authored by Assembly Member Reyes, which will create bilingual professional development programs to support bilingual teachers who for many years have been teaching in all English classrooms and want to support or increase their skills and knowledge and abilities about the evidence-based instruction for curriculum for high-quality bilingual classrooms. These professional development programs will also support bilingual teachers who have their bilingual authorization, who do not have their bilingual authorization, that want to add that. So please sign the cards and leave them at the door. Lastly, the state needs to know how many bilingual teachers are teaching in English and want to return to dual language and bilingual classrooms or achieve their bilingual authorization. So the California Federation of Teachers and the California Teachers Association is partnering with Californians Together on a teacher survey. For all teachers at this conference, we want you to go to one of the two websites, I believe they're being shown here, and complete a short 10-minute survey today or before you leave this conference. We need to hear from each of you and your colleagues back in your districts, and we need to begin and create the stories that will take us to the future. Muchas gracias. Have a great day. Thank you.
Each year, CABE honors those with exemplary vision, leadership, and service to the English learner community. Here to present the first award is CABE Board Vice President Annie Rodríguez.
Wow, what a start to day 3. How are you, CABE familia? Oh, amazing, amazing. I'm also going to ask if my partner in crime, Karline Aguilera-Fort, will join me here on stage for a very, very special recognition. You have probably heard the name Senator Ricardo Lara. If you were at CABE last year, you'll remember we called the senator on his cell phone. Do you remember that? And he told us about this little thing called the EDGE Initiative. And over months, we got a proposition number, Prop 58, and we know the history of that. And we are here to celebrate the passage of Prop 58. And today, along with my wonderful partner, colleague, friend, president of the CABE board, we are here to recognize Senator Ricardo Lara with the CABE Courageous Leadership Award. Now, you might not know this about the senator. The senator was born in 1974 in Commerce, California, here in Southern California. Coincidentally, a little bit of history, that was the same year of Lau versus Nichols. And it was 1 year before CABE was formed. So Senator was about 6 months old when we had our first CABE conference, okay? A little bit of context. Senator Ricardo Lara is the son of a working-class immigrant family. He attended schools in LAUSD and later graduated from San Diego State University. Are you in the house? He earned his BA majoring in journalism and Spanish with a minor in Chicano studies. And how appropriate being today el día de César Chávez, ¿verdad? Sí se puede. Senator Lara was the first person in his family to graduate from college. He later then moved on to USC, fight on, and acquired his master's degree in leadership. Senator Lara is a champion for educational equity, civil rights, and immigrant rights. He has sponsored and led legislation that we could never even have imagined back in 1975 when CABE was formed. And it really has improved the quality of life for vulnerable communities. Among his many bills that have been passed, that have improved the lives of immigrants, he authored several first-in-the-nation laws that recognize and invest in immigrant communities, and of course, our victory with Prop 58. When the senator when he was elected in 2012 as Senator Ricardo Lara, he had been an assembly member before that, he made history by becoming the first openly gay person of color elected to the California Senate. He also played a strategic role in the California Dream Loan Program, which assists undocumented students in acquiring loans to complete their higher education goals. With an incredibly entrepreneurial spirit, Senator Lara has built to update and expand access to professional licensing rules, regardless of immigration status, which is key, will stimulate local economies and create jobs. Under his leadership as chair of the Latino Caucus, the Senate passed AB 60, Senate Bill 60, to allow undocumented Californians to obtain driver's license. Very, very important. The senator, being from Mexican descendancy, also has a heart and passion for all communities that speak Spanish. And so he led a fact-finding delegation to visit the Central American unaccompanied minors being held in Ventura County. It was instrumental in securing over $3 million to be directed towards nonprofit organizations providing legal representation to these children. So a senator, a community member, a friend with huge heart. Now, let's hear a little bit more about his focus on multilingualism and bilingual education.
Senator Lara firmly believes, supports, and understands the power of being multilingual. Voters last November approved Proposition 58 by 72.7352%, and this proposition got the most votes of any of the other initiatives on the ballot. Thank you, Senator Lara. Now, all parents can request the development of bilingual, multilingual programs in schools for their children. You can do that now. Senator Lara's records in public service has been recognized at the local, state, and national levels. He leads with a strong conviction, passion, and a little bit of fun, and of course, locura, and always with his heart and mind focused on the needs of our diverse community. CABE and the CABE Board is truly honored to recognize Senator Ricardo Lara with the CABE 2017 Legislative Leadership Board Award. Please join me in welcoming Senator Ricardo Lara.
Now, before the senator receives the opportunity to respond to his award from CABE, we have an incredibly special recognition to share with him today. We are incredibly honored to have this prestigious moment at our conference. You have heard throughout our 4 days together so far of our support and connection and collaboration with our colleagues in Mexico. And today, the senator, in a very special ceremony, will be receiving the Mexican Ohtli Award. Here to share with us the prestigious attributes of the Ohtli Award is our Consul Consul Mario Cuevas Zamora, el Consul Titular del Consulado de México de Santa Ana. Let's give him a warm welcome. Consul, I cannot tell you enough from CABE's position how honored we are to have you here with us today. Thank you for considering the efforts made in our bilingual community, and thank you for being here to present this prestigious award. Muchas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Jan. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias por esas palabras tan gentiles, Jan. Buenos días. ¿Qué dijo César Chávez? Sí se puede, ¿no? Bien. Me da muchísimo gusto estar aquí. Va a ser una ceremonia muy emotiva. Me permito compartir con ustedes algunas reflexiones y sobre todo explicarles aquí a todos, a la familia CABE. Por todos lados, yo creo que esto es binacional, pero incluye otras nacionalidades que estamos viendo que se están uniendo. Nos da muchísimo gusto ver otros colegas y estudiantes de diferentes rincones del mundo. Es para mí el día de hoy estar aquí esta mañana con ustedes para entregar a nombre de la Secretaría de Relaciones Exteriores y por conducto del Instituto de los Mexicanos en el Exterior, que es la entidad que tiene la relación con todos nuestros mexicanos fuera de México, en todos los países, pero de los 33 millones, fuera de México, el 98% está en Estados Unidos. Y son atendidos por los 50 consulados en todo el país. Así que yo les pido un aplauso solidario para todos nuestros hermanos nacidos en México y nacidos aquí de origen mexicano. Para mí el día de hoy es un gran honor entregar este prestigiado reconocimiento, el Ohtli, al senador Ricardo Lara. Ya escuchamos muy brevemente su larga y brillante trayectoria y su profundo compromiso con la comunidad. En diversas materias, su currículum es muy amplio, cubre varias áreas, tiene posiciones muy importantes en el Senado californiano y sobre todo tiene un gran amor a su gente y lo demuestra con trabajo y con compromiso. Para mí es un gran honor estar aquí compartiendo el escenario con él y sobre todo también, porque hablando ahorita que mencione lo del Ohtli, que les voy a dar una probadita diciendo que es la palabra náhuatl que significa camino, se va abriendo camino y este premio, como les explicaré, es muy importante. Entonces, comenzaré diciendo que el Ohtli se entrega a mexicanos y amigos de México que hacen una labor importante y se entrega desde 1996 a través de los consulados de México en ceremonias muy importantes como esta. Ohtli es una palabra náhuatl que significa camino. El destacado investigador Miguel León Portilla la describe de la siguiente manera. En los códices se señalan los caminos con huellas de pies. Así se marcaban los rumbos a donde iban mujeres y hombres. Por su parte, los poetas nahuas se preguntaban, ¿cuál es el camino que ha de seguir el corazón? Hay una respuesta en los códices, Melahuac Ohtli, el camino recto, el que te llevará a realizar tu destino. Al despedirse, los nahuas decían, y así lo siguen diciendo quienes mantienen viva su lengua, la lengua azteca náhuatl, decían, Kuali Ohtli, buen camino, el que tú y yo, nosotros todos debemos andar. Uno de los objetivos del Instituto de los Mexicanos en el Exterior, el IME, es fortalecer las relaciones con la comunidad mexicana y de origen mexicano residente fuera de nuestro país. Con este fin se han puesto en operación una gran variedad de proyectos que nos han permitido estrechar los lazos de México con su diáspora. En esta labor ha sido vital la participación de muchos mexicanos y mexicanas que viven en el extranjero, así como latinos y latinas que han dedicado gran parte de su vida y sus mejores esfuerzos a propiciar el bienestar y el empoderamiento de nuestros compatriotas, por lo que el IME considera de enorme importancia que se reconozca esta actividad altruista. Con este propósito, el Instituto de los Mexicanos en el Exterior otorga anualmente el reconocimiento Ohtli, que consiste en una medalla, una roseta de plata, la medalla es de plata también, y la roseta forjadas en la Casa de Moneda de México, la casa de moneda más antigua de América Latina y que también distribuye monedas a diversos países y se hacen en México. Este reconocimiento se otorga a personas que han dedicado la mayor parte de su vida y actividad profesional a abrir brecha, por eso el Ohtli, abrir camino en el extranjero, para que las generaciones más jóvenes de mexicanos y mexicanas que los han seguido encuentren un camino relativamente más fácil de andar. Aquí hago un paréntesis. Hablando de abrir camino, yo creo que también este Ohtli se lo merecen los papás del senador Ricardo Lara. Doña Dolores, Lolita y Venustiano, mexicanos luchadores que además sacaron adelante a su familia. 5 hermanos, si no me equivoco, 5 hijos, todos ellos bien formados, además aman a México. Así que eso de abrir brecha también es parte de las generaciones que nos antecedieron y que gracias a ellos, muchos de ustedes, muchos de nosotros tenemos la oportunidad de ir facilitándonos y el compromiso es de nosotros. Para quien recibe el reconocimiento Ohtli, significa que los mexicanos residentes en el país o en el exterior reconocemos y apreciamos el valor de las actividades que realizan en favor del bienestar de nuestros compatriotas donde quiera que estos se encuentren. Así que para mí es un gran honor hacer entrega del PIN, de la roseta, la moneda al senador y de un reconocimiento, un diploma, con su permiso. Entonces, senador, déjenme, con mucho cuidadito. Muy bonita. Es un honor para mí hacer la entrega, senador. Y el diploma. Muchas gracias.
Buenos dias. Good morning. So, I didn't know I was going to get this emotional. This is awesome. Gracias. Es un placer estar aquí con todos ustedes. Such a pleasure to be with each and every single one of you. Cónsul Mario Cuevas, muchas gracias por este reconocimiento. I want to thank my mom and dad who are here today to witness such a special moment. Mom and dad, thank you for being here. You know, it's truly humbling and honored. I feel honored to be with you all today as we celebrate the tremendous accomplishment that we all achieved together to bring back dignity and respect to our bilingual education teachers and to our language teachers who have worked diligently not only to prepare themselves, but to entrust and instill in children the beauty of learning another language. Thank you so much for the amazing work that you all do, not only for us, but to demonstrate to the rest of the world that we in the United States of America, and in particular in California, do respect us being a multilingual society. So thank you for the amazing work that you all do. Give yourselves a round of applause. You know, it was in 2013 in Long Beach, in my district, where I unveiled my plans to finally repeal Prop 227. And many of you were like, oh my God, what are we gonna get ourselves into? And I decided it was time for us to once and for all repeal this racist, hateful law that somehow said that we were different, that we didn't belong because we spoke multiple languages. And that really worked to make us feel inferior as we spoke our native language or the languages we knew in public, because somehow we were supposed to be ashamed of that, not knowing that other countries celebrate the children and celebrate our multilingualism. And not only celebrate it, but it is part of their curriculum to ensure that children learn as many languages as possible. And so, as we hear the rhetoric at the national level, we in California are setting a very, very different course. With 73% of the vote, we finally said, ya basta with Prop 227. And I want to take a second to acknowledge the board of directors of CABE who were with me from the very beginning. And I can tell you when we had that meeting with the board of directors, and they're like, how are you going to get this done? How are we going to raise the money? And I said, you know what? Ignorance is bliss sometimes. And we're going to go full speed ahead, and we're going to figure it out. But it's time that we have an honest conversation with Californians who now more than ever understand the importance of learning multiple languages. Not only the cognitive science, the educational benefits that we have, but we know the health benefits of being multilingual in our society and what that does to our brains. And so, to me, Prop 227 was very personal, as it was for many of you. You see, my brothers and sisters all participated in bilingual education programs and are all professionals this day. I learned in an immersion program, and it goes to show that children learn differently and in different environments. That doesn't mean that a one-size-fits-all approach is gonna be the solve our issues for everyone. And so I learned Spanish because it was a survival, and English because it was a necessity. You see, both my parents are immigrants from Mexico. And for us, and for me, learning English as quickly as possible was a survival tool. I was the sole connection to the mainstream culture for my family. And so, could you imagine a little 10-year-old trying to translate tax documents, trying to translate medical documents, going to the doctor with your mom? How weird was that? Trying to explain to her, I'm not even gonna tell you the word. Oh my God, I so wanna tell you the word, but I don't wanna tell you the word, because my mom's here and I don't wanna embarrass her. But there was something very important that my parents always taught me, and in particular my mother, who always said, be very proud of who you are. Be proud of being of Mexican descent. She would often tell us that we came from a long line of teachers, engineers, people who worked in the field, people who were honest and who made their life through honest work. And she also taught us to not let anybody humiliate us. You are no less than anybody anywhere in the world. And those roots and those teachings were what allowed me not only to be proud of who I was and accept who I was as an individual, as a son of immigrants, as a proud Chicano, Mexican American, it allowed me to understand and appreciate other cultures without feeling that I was somehow different or any less. But it allowed me to fully embrace the diverse surroundings of this beautiful country of ours without somehow feeling that I was different. But we were all in this together. And so as my niece now is learning Mandarin at USC, and our diverse friends, we enjoy their traditions and cultures, we do so with that foundation of that critical thing of not only self-worth, self-realization, but the responsibility that we have to learn from other cultures, to make us stronger and to make us a stronger country and a stronger state. And so Prop 227 for me was something that was used to divide us. And we were much larger than that to let that happen. And I understand that so many of us were beaten down, so many of us were tired of working within the constraints and the obstacles of Prop 227. And so I took it upon myself as somebody who lived this personally to say enough is enough. And with Prop 58 and with the little budget of $2.5 million that, sometimes I was just like, I don't know where I'm gonna get the rest of the money. I'm done, I'm exhausted. But it was those moments that I reflected on when I was at the mall speaking Spanish to my mom who didn't understand English, that somebody stopped me and said, you should learn how to speak English. You don't belong here if you don't speak English. Or the times when I would get the dirty looks when I would go to the grocery store and fill out the checkbook for my mom and all she had to do was sign it. Thinking of all those Asian, Vietnamese, Cambodian, Armenian children who now have to do that for their parents, and the Latinos, Salvadoreños, Guatemaltecos, you name it, that still have to do that for their parents. And I said no, because they are living up to their piece of the bargain. They're ensuring that our families are integrated into our society. So I have to get up and fight. I have to make sure that we debate run-ons and that we look them straight in the eye. And I have to tell you, when I finally debated this guy face to face, I told him, I've been waiting 40 years to have this discussion with you, Mr. Unz. And it was such a fulfilling moment. It was like when in the novela, when it's like one-on-one, when you're with the villana, like straight up, like it's gonna be the end of the novela. And I made this like dramatic entrance into the studio. It was like, por fin estás aquí. Yeah. And I have to say, I took him to town, man. I told him, thank you for supposedly advocating for my community, but we got it from now. We no longer need the white savior to come telling us what to do or what we should speak. And as I was telling our consul that to me, Mexico was such an amazing place to vacation and to go back. And of course, when we started, the only times we would go to Mexico is when somebody died, when and that to us was the vacation. We're like, oh my God, this is kind of weird. It's a vacation, but my uncle passed away. But to me, the beauty, the culture of my Sinaloa and my Nayarit will forever be in my heart because it is those beaches, that culture, and my grandma in Nayarit singing to me in the morning to wake up, I will never forget. And it is for her that I continue to fight because she taught us to love ourselves. No matter how flawed we were, she always taught us to get up and fight, like she said my mom would do every day. And so, les quiero dar las gracias por darme este reconocimiento. Cónsul Cuevas, muchas gracias. Pero esto realmente se lo merecen mis padres, mi mamá Dolores, mi papá Venustiano, que vinieron de Sinaloa y de Nayarit para luchar por una mejor vida para sus hijos. Y mi mamá siempre nos ha dicho, y siempre desde pequeño nos dijo, sean orgullosos de donde vienen, sean orgullosos de su lengua, de su idioma, y que nadie los humille. La educación nos va a dar el poder para seguir adelante. Y siempre nos decía, tu madre no tiene una educación, tu papá tampoco, pero estamos aquí y sacrificamos nuestras vidas para que ustedes tengan la educación que nosotros nunca tuvimos. Para que nadie les quite la educación y nadie los humille como los humillaron a ellos, como migrantes, trabajando como costurera, trabajando en el campo de California. Pero les quiero decir que solo en este país de nosotros, que sabemos que en estos tiempos ha habido mucho que hablar de cómo nos tratan como inmigrantes, como latinos, como inmigrantes asioamericanos, centroamericanos. Pero realmente en Estados Unidos y en este país y en este estado de nosotros, solo en este país y en este estado, un hijo de 2 inmigrantes puede hoy en día ser senador del gran estado de California. Y el trabajo y la responsabilidad que tenemos para asegurar de que todas las generaciones que vienen y que siguen de nosotros tengan esa oportunidad de superarse. Porque al igual Estados Unidos es un país de migrantes. No importa si sus antecedentes llegaron anoche o llegaron años o décadas anterior. Algo en nuestro DNA, I'm getting bilingual now. Something in our DNA, algo en nuestro DNA de nuestros inmigrantes dijeron, ya basta. No me voy a quedar en mi país a sufrir. Voy a sacrificar mi vida para mejorarme a mí y a mi familia. If you think about the DNA of the United States of America and the people who make it and who have made it through the years, we're a bunch of rebels. We're a bunch of people that said, I am going to leave religious persecution in Italy, in England, in France, in Poland, and I'm going to fight for a better life for myself and my family. This is who we are. Think of so many people that stayed behind. Imaginen toda la gente que dijo, no, yo mejor me voy a quedar aquí a ver cómo le hago y me voy a ver que abro un changarro o algo así, ¿no? Pero imagínate que se viene y que viene a esforzarse realmente, son parte del DNA de Estados Unidos. Por eso somos el mejor país en el mundo. Porque somos todos rebeldes y decidimos dejar todo para sacrificar todo para obtener lo que tenemos hoy en día. Así que para mí es un orgullo estar aquí con todos ustedes. La victoria que tuvimos con la proposición 58 se la merecen todos ustedes por el trabajo que hicieron para ayudarnos y para mandar realmente el mensaje que ser multilingüal, que ser bilingüe es una cosa que todos los niños deben de tener, no solo los niños de inmigrantes, pero todos los niños en California, porque tenemos que competir a nivel global. Y sabemos que los niños en otros países están aprendiendo 3 hasta 4, hasta 5 idiomas. Y si queremos que los niños de California puedan competir con esos niños a nivel global y a nivel mundial, tenemos que enseñarles diferentes idiomas ya. Y gracias a ustedes tenemos esa oportunidad con la proposición 58. Así que muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Quiero tomar esta oportunidad de realmente darle el premio Ohtli al que realmente se lo merece, a mi mamá, a mi papá, que están aquí conmigo, y dirles gracias por todo lo que hicieron por nuestra familia. Gracias por sufrir lo que han sufrido por nosotros, y este reconocimiento realmente es para ustedes. Gracias.